CBS 12 News on the CW34. Deadly hit and run, possibly an accident. What the driver did moments after, making him a wanted suspect. Tonight, the pleas from loved ones to come forward. What do the president, Mar-a-Lago, and a giant inflatable have in common? Well, it all comes together in a matter of hours. Caught on camera the moments before and after a fierce Ferrari plunges into the water. Tonight, the video that has some scratching their heads.
This is CBS 12 News at 10 on the CW34.
And right off the top tonight, from whipping winds to warmer temperatures, all in a matter of just about 24 hours. So how's your all-important weekend shaping up? Chief Meteorologist Erin Christensen live in studio to break it all down for us. Hey, Erin.
Hi, Paul. You are right. It has been a warm, wet, windy 48 hours for us. And as much a fan of alliteration as I am, I'm not going to say wet, warm, windy weekend because it's not going to be the case. Yes, we will still hold on to some humidity, but we're not expecting a whole lot as far as the rain is concerned. Sure, it's going to be warm. We are still posting temperatures tomorrow 5 to 10 degrees above normal, but the wind speeds, that is going to taper off considerably. In fact, take a look at this. Between 1 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that is when West Palm Beach will clock its strongest winds, up to 11 miles per hour. That really pales in comparison to what we've been feeling the past couple of days. So improving conditions, no doubt, for the final weekend of 2018. Again, wind from the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour, and temperatures near 80. We'll take a sneak peek at that New Year's Eve forecast coming up.
Erin, thank you so much. Right now, a search for the heartless driver accused of mowing down a bicyclist and left him in the road dying. Tonight, his loved ones begging for the driver to do the right thing. Now, the 50-year-old victim crossing South Dixie Highway in Lake Worth when he was killed. And tonight, CBS 12's Luli Ortiz live at the scene in Lake Worth. And Luli, I can only imagine how hard this is for the family, especially during the holidays.
Well, Paul, deputies tell us tonight that 50-year-old man, he was riding his bicycle. He was crossing here on South Dixie Highway when he was hit and killed by that driver. Now, Paul, I do want to point out that there are no crosswalks here. Now, tonight, I spoke to that victim's best friend. Obviously, he's so devastated about this. He has a message for the killer who is still out there tonight.
He called me his brother. Said, brother from another mother.
Johnny Bogan, with tears in his eyes, says he knew the victim, identified tonight as 50-year-old Richard Watson, for 10 years.
He was a good guy.
He received the devastating phone call from police late last night, telling him Watson was struck and killed by a driver while crossing South Dixie Highway in Lake Worth.
Said that he was dead, dead in the middle of the road. My old lady woke me up, babe, put your clothes on. They said Rich dead.
How did you feel when you heard that devastating news?
Empty. I feel empty.
A CBS 12 News viewer shared this video of PBSO investigators on scene after Watson was ejected and pronounced dead on scene. The driver took off.
You just gonna run over a man, you don't stop, you keep going. Why you stop and help him?
There are still crime scene markers along South Dixie Highway from PBSO investigators, and a search for Watson's killer continues tonight. As for Bogan, he has a message for that driver who didn't stop to help his best friend.
Do me a favor. Whoever did it, turn yourself in.
Now, PBSO deputies, they obtained surveillance video from this quick stop grocery store in hopes that they could get some more clues. But they say that the car is possibly a 2012 to 2016 Chevy Malibu. Now, anyone with information, they're urged to call PBSO or Crime Stoppers of Palm Beach. That number is 1-800-458-TIPS. We're live tonight in Lake Worth. I'm Luli Ortiz, CBS 12 News on the CW34.
Luli, let's hope they do get some tips. Thank you. This is the third hit-and-run incident this week alone. The first early Sunday in Lantana that killed Christopher Morales Novotny of Green Acres. Later that day, a Belle Glade man, A.D. Coley, thrown from his motorcycle in suburban West Palm Beach. The fourth one earlier this month, 20-year-old Asia McClave, hit and killed by a speeding car just outside of FAU. Right now, no deal in sight. Tonight, the Capitol is empty as we head into the 8th day of the partial government shutdown, and taking a live look right now. And it appears the back and forth will be handed off to a divided government to solve in the new year. The president has threatened to shut down the entire southern border. That's if congressional Democrats don't give him funding for the wall. And White House officials say when it comes to the wall, he means it. The president miles away from his typical holiday vacation here in Palm Beach as he deals with all those negotiations. Still, protesters ramping up, planning to send him a strong message tomorrow. CBS 12's Vincent Corbelli kicking off our team coverage. He's live near Mar-a-Lago tonight. And Vince, the guy heading up this anti-Trump protest, plans on using a giant rat?
That's right, Paul. Tomorrow, a 12-foot rat will be cruising around Mar-a-Lago. The man driving it says it's a call for President Donald Trump to resign.
Claude Taylor is on what some would call a mission to catch your eye. He's inflating a 12-foot rat.
Then it takes about a minute.
But this isn't just any rat. It's custom designed to look like President Donald Trump.
He has artificial yellow hair.
Grotesque fingernails, cell phone in hand, and a heart tattoo inside the name Putin.
Vladimir Putin apparently seems to own Donald Trump.
Taylor is the chair of Mad Dog PAC, which is the group responsible for putting up the Impeachment Now billboard on Southern Boulevard. Today, he drove from the D.C. area to show off the Trump caricature.
The message to Donald Trump is resign now.
Tomorrow, Taylor says he's taking his inflatable rat on a boat ride with fellow protesters around Mar-a-Lago.
Lots of people in downtown Palm Beach will get a physical representation of Donald Trump, the rat.
President Trump won't be at Mar-a-Lago tomorrow, but Taylor says that won't stop his mission.
I think they get the point across that there's real opposition in the community throughout this country to Donald Trump.
And Taylor plans to cruise the Intercoastal from 11 o'clock in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. Again, President Donald Trump won't be here because he's up in D.C. working with Congress on passing a spending bill to end the government shutdown. Reporting live in Palm Beach, Vincent Corbelli, CBS 12 News on the CW 34.
And Vince, this shutdown has a lot of people talking. CBS 12's Chuck Weber tonight continues our team coverage with how the shutdown will affect you.
You know, we've been fielding lots of questions about the shutdown. Today downtown here, though, we got very few questions and a whole lot of comments.
Absolutely, they need to get together and come up with a plan to secure the border.
People are talking about the partial shutdown of the federal government.
Over some kind of ridiculous muscle flexing.
Whether it's a wall or a fence, set up nursing stations, something. You know, we want to know who's coming in.
It's this kind of sentiment that has President Trump digging in, insisting on $5 billion for a border wall. But so far, Democrats have pushed back.
I don't believe that most of the public would want a government shutdown over a wall.
We hear the word shutdown, yet many federal agencies are without impact. Congress had already approved funding for about 3/4 of the federal government. But at 9 departments, the funding ran out at the end of last week, putting nearly 400,000 workers on furlough and a slightly larger number of employees considered essential currently working without pay.
If they're non-essential, why do we have them to begin with? So, I mean, that's kind of I'm more of a libertarian, so I don't think we should have an extremely large federal government.
I think it's really unfortunate and unnecessary because there are thousands of government employees going out without pay during the holiday season, and it's hard for them.
Now, a lot of people have asked about mail delivery. Well, that's one of the areas that is funded. We are still getting our mail. In West Palm Beach, Chuck Weber, CBS 12 News.
And Chuck, President Trump says he has no plans to attend the annual New Year's Eve party at Mar-a-Lago this year. First Lady Melania, her son Barron, daughter Ivanka, and her husband Jared Kushner, along with Donald Jr., all at Mar-a-Lago tonight. Members and guests at the club shelling out more than $1,000 a ticket for a chance to party with the president during the holiday. Breaking news happening right now. A 5-year-old little girl in critical condition after falling from a 4th-floor balcony happening in Lauderhill. The girl in the care of her 17-year-old sister who ran to the store. No word right now on how the girl went over the railing. We're on top of the story and we'll keep you updated on air, online, and on CBS12.com. Moment, a very expensive car, watch this, flies off the dock and into the Palm Beach inlet. This police dash cam video shows a Ferrari on the dock Wednesday morning. An officer then approaches the car, talks with the driver, then the driver backs up, there he goes, and seconds later floors it and drives right into the Intracoastal. The car sank close to 30 feet underwater. The driver, though, made it out safely. But why'd he do it? Everyone's asking that. Still not clear tonight. Now, divers had to attach lift bags to the car to bring it back to shore. New tonight, saying goodbye to his four-legged partner, the canine who put his life on the line to save his fellow deputies. A Palm Beach County Sheriff's canine handler kisses the casket of his partner, Seago, for the last time before going into the funeral home. One of the men arrested in the Christmas Eve shootout at the Wellington Mall where Seago was killed tonight is behind bars without bond. Justin Vasquez, there he is, being charged as an accessory to attempted murder after a shooting near a West Palm Beach bar last month. Now, on Monday night, sheriff's deputies went to the mall with arrest warrants for Vasquez and the accused gunman, Giovanni Ramos Alvarez. A detective says Vasquez surrendered at the mall, but Ramos took off running and firing his gun at the same time. The sheriff's office says Ramos is the one who opened fire, killing Seago. And as the community continues to mourn the loss of the hero canine, a memorial service we've learned will be held on Thursday, January 10th at 10 a.m. It'll be at the Coral Sky Amphitheater in West Palm Beach. Up next tonight, a breakthrough therapy in the fight against breast cancer and a major health concern for Boca native and singing sensation Ariana Grande, why the 25-year-old is canceling her upcoming concert in Vegas. Erin.
Well, Paul, we are tracking this huge cold front and it's moving our way, but I'll explain why it will not ruin our weekend.
Proud partner of the CBS 12 News Network, the one to turn to.
Welcome back. Possible health trouble for Boca native and singing sensation Ariana Grande. The 25-year-old canceling Las Vegas performances just days before New Year's Eve for what's being called unforeseen health reasons. Now, Grande was originally scheduled to perform at the Chelsea at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas on Saturday. Grande not saying, though, the health problems that she's dealing with. Grande has had a busy year with songs at #1 on the Billboard chart, 2 Grammy nominations, a breakup, and the death of her ex-boyfriend, Mac Miller. Meantime, doctors say a breakthrough therapy still in trials is shrinking breast cancer tumors right before their eyes. Tonight, medical reporter Liz Bonas shares what's behind these promising results.
Just a few months ago, at a follow-up appointment at St. Elizabeth Healthcare, Mona Lazarus admits.
I was scared when I heard cancer. It's kind of like everything they were saying was just blurry from there on. I couldn't hear much else.
But rather than traditional chemotherapy to shrink her tumor before a possible surgery, for her diagnosis of breast cancer, Dr. Michael Gunther told me she was enrolled in what's called the alternate trial.
We are the nation's leader in the accrual to this study.
The alternate trial is the next phase of a breakthrough hormone study.
A pill a day was all that I had to take.
Comparing 2 different medications or a combo of them.
When these things shrink, they shrink like ice cubes in a glass of lemonade.
To see if they will shrink tumors enough to change the course of treatment needed without chemotherapy.
One of the primary benefits from it is that in the first couple, 2 to 4 weeks of the treatment, you can tell if the tumor is receding or regressing appropriately.
Sure enough, Mona came back after just a few weeks in the trial.
It had shrunk a lot. It was, yeah, and so now the measurements, they're having even a hard time getting a measurement. It's shrunk so much.
Dr. Gunther says it's because imaging and follow-up biopsy results show
As we take what sometimes is not feasible for a lumpectomy, and they shrink down to where they're the size of a breadcrumb.
For Mona Lazarus, that means one thing.
Never let a word have power over you. You know, that word cancer can have so much power, and it kind of numbed my brain for a few minutes, but I was like, no, I can't listen to that. I have to look at all these happy, positive people and these faces that are telling me there's hope, and go for it. So, yes, I feel like it's all a miracle.
Liz Bonas reporting. All right, they look harmless, but they could possibly kill you. That's right. Right now, man-o-wars are washing up on our beaches, posing a severe threat to everyone there. Take a look. The man-o-war is a purple-blue colored balloon-type organism found in the ocean, floats, and they have tentacles that hang down, and they can cause a nasty sting.
And we have issues with small children not knowing, wanting to pop them, and that can cause the parts of the tentacle to get on a small child and sting them.
Don't be popping them. Wow, man-o-wars have been spotted at Juno Beach. Lifeguards say if you do get stung, Rinse off the area and with fresh water, and you may need to use the edge of a credit card to actually scrape off the tentacles from your skin.
Devastation is just constant now.
Right now, dozens of dead fish floating near the St. Lucie Lock. Look at this. After years of devastation from toxic algae in the waterway, many people who live and work there are concerned. Now, scientists say there's no concrete answer as to why this is happening, but there are a few possibilities. CBS 12's Treasure Coast reporter Erin McPherson now. She watched it and smelled it firsthand.
I saw dozens of dead fish floating outside the lock.
Gus Bentecourt is visiting from Key Largo and was just trying to find a nice trail to ride his bike, but instead found dead fish.
And they rolled belly up there, and they smell pretty bad.
Scientists at FAU Harbor Branch aren't quite sure what caused the fish kill at the St. Lucie Lock and Dam, but say there are a number of possibilities. One of them could be a good thing. Since the fresh water from Lake Okeechobee isn't being released into the St. Lucie estuary, there's more salt in the water. And freshwater fish couldn't survive the salt water.
They appear to be these fish that are called Plecostomus, like the freshwater fish.
Scientists say it could even be an algal bloom, not the toxic blue-green kind, but something else.
We shouldn't be seeing fish kill-offs every 2 months. We shouldn't be seeing algae blooms every single year.
Brian Hayden has lived in Martin County for 20 years and is sick of the water issues.
Ultimately, we'd like to see this completely fixed.
Erin McPherson, CBS 12 News.
All right, we're going to head over to weather now with Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen, who's going to break down the weekend forecast. Hey, Aaron.
Hi, Paul. We still have this pressure pump working between the area of low pressure and its associated cold front that is trying to push in our direction and that high pressure that is to our east. And it's between these two features where we've had that wind being filtered in our direction and also that humid air. So as we make our way through the next 24 hours, that wind is going to start to weaken here as these areas of pressure kind of spread apart, but we're still going to see that pocket of really humid air kind of playing bumper cars here between these two areas of pressure. The low is trying to push it east, the high is trying to push it west, and that will continue to keep that humidity quite high across our area. But it is also going to bring in some warm temperatures with that southerly flow of the wind. Look at this. Now in the 80s across Florida, you can clearly see where that cold front lies right on the back of that. Temps in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and then out ahead of it, we have Atlanta at 63, Raleigh 68, 73, New Orleans, and boy, is that warm compared to single-digit high in Fargo at 8 degrees today, 22 Denver, 22 Jackson, even Phoenix at 56 degrees. So the final weekend of 2018 for West Palm Beach is going to boast humid air, yes, but still on the warm side. 5 to 10 degrees above normal. In fact, 81 degrees for our Saturday. We're talking 80 for our Sunday. Chance for rain at 20% tomorrow, drops off to 10% Sunday, and that wind is going to weaken as well. 5 to 10 mile per hour winds from the southeast. So for those of you who have been chomping at the bit to get out on the water this weekend, better conditions, no doubt. The seas are going to come down quite a bit, 2 to 3 feet, because the wind is tapering off, and Sunday seas at about 2 feet because the wind also fairly low. I will tell you, though, that the rip current risk is still moderate, so you want to swim at your own risk. Our New Year's Eve is looking pretty good, too. Temperatures in the mid-70s here at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, by 9 down to 74, 74 at 10, 73, 11 o'clock, and when the clock strikes midnight there, 72, and just a 10% chance for rain. Here's the 7-day forecast where the weekend is always in view, staying right around that 80-degree mark all the way through the first part of 2019, and our better chance for rain by Friday at 40%.
Forecast looking good. Thank you, Aaron. Up next, sticker shock. Those hospital bills, minor procedure, major prices. How you'll be able to see the bill before you go under the knife. That's next. It happens all the time. Have you ever gone to the hospital for a minor procedure? Then your jaw drops when you get that exorbitant bill in the mail. Well, beginning next week, a federal rule goes into effect to make health care more transparent. Reporter Andy Spieth now with how much it could save you.
Hey, Alexa.
It's a question not even Alexa can answer.
How much does it cost for back surgery? I don't know that one.
Patients often don't know the cost of surgeries and other procedures at hospitals. That changes next week when new federal rules require hospitals to post pricing online.
They want transparency, that people don't know what they're expecting to pay.
This is the sticker price for services, and it does not reflect the negotiated price between hospitals and insurers.
The Indiana Hospital Association represents nearly every hospital in the state, and it cautions the listed prices online aren't necessarily the price every Hoosier will pay.
The negotiations are individualized by insurance, and so people still need to contact their insurer to understand what this means for them.
Kristen Metzel's an independent insurance agent. She's not sure what will come of the new regulations.
It's a good idea in theory. I'm just not sure how it will work, because I know sometimes you get in and say you're going to have a knee replacement and then there's a complication.
As area hospitals put the final touches together before going online next week, there is something already out there that is similar. The State Hospital Association rolled out MyCare Insight in 2015, a website that Hoosiers can use to find doctors and prices. The IHA says it even goes a step further than what's soon required by federal officials, measuring quality too. It includes 100 inpatient procedures and 50 outpatient procedures to help people make a more informed decision about health care.
This is a consumer-friendly tool for patients to be able to compare hospital charges and quality. While it isn't the full picture, it still equips the patient with that comparison availability and the quality measure.
That was Randy Spieth reporting. Now, most hospitals warn, even after you see the number on their website, the best way to get an accurate estimate of how much you'll pay out of pocket is to call the hospital's financial care team. Frosty lovers rejoice. Yes, Wendy's is offering a year's worth of the delicious frozen treat. Get this, for just $2. Not lying here. The fast food chain selling a Frosty Key Tag. It lets customers snag a junior-sized Frosty at a limit of one a day for a year. Yes, sales of the Key Tag will benefit the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption. The promotion runs until January 31st. Getting hungry now. Coming your way after the break, the Gators getting ready for the Peach Bowl tomorrow, while the Canes are licking their wounds. Two bitter rivals in a very different mood entering the offseason, looking forward to their season-opening clash against each other. Sports director John Evanson explores it up next in The Skinny.
Florida Honda Sports Report.
When the 10th-ranked Florida Gators leave the Peach Bowl field tomorrow with a potentially huge win over 7th-ranked Michigan, they will start looking ahead to their 2019 season opener against the Miami Hurricanes. Two bitter rivals in two very different moods heading into the offseason. It's what everybody's talking about. It's The Skinny.
The Canes hit their low point of the season in yesterday's 35-3 loss to Wisconsin, playing as sloppy as their social media habits. QB and Cozy Perry lost his starting job after posting sexually explicit material. Two other players then leaked his suspension on social media leading up to the game.
It starts with me, for sure, and really that's where the buck stops.
They just got to have that want to fix it, that need to fix it.
Sense that in there, in that locker room?
Not right now.
The focus and commitment just wasn't there. Meanwhile, the Gators couldn't seemingly be more focused on success. A 9-3 regular season in head coach Dan Mullen's first year. What seems to be a structured program-first mentality.
Going to class, how they carry themselves in the community, how they come together as a team.
The Gators have lost 7 of their last 8 games against the Canes, but the U has lots of work to do to avoid that trend from now shifting for potentially years to come. And that's The Skinny.
And you know those fan bases, man, they go head to head against each other. It doesn't matter.
Sure do.
Yeah, those games are big.
You got two teams, like you said, with very different, they're going two different ways.
Seemingly, but the Canes insist there was lots broken this season, but it's something that can be fixed. We'll see if Mark Richt can pull it off with a few changes.
Let's see if they get the repairman in there.
Yes.
All right, John, thank you so much. All right, we've got a story coming up next.
But push it real good.
Oh, yeah, come on, baby, push it. How a little salt and pepper helped the mom have a baby. You're going to want to see this one, so stick around. And a mother-to-be welcomes her baby in a very unique way. Take a look.
Can you hear that music pumping hard like I wish you would?
Yeah, 1986. Remember that? I do too. The family breaking out into Salt and Pepper's hit Push It Real Good in the delivery room earlier this month. The same thing everyone wanted her to do. And get this, just 10 minutes later, that woman welcomed her healthy baby girl into the world. How about that, Aaron? Push it real good.
That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd want all those people in the delivery room, but whatever.
Where's the doctor?
Here's your 7-day forecast. We are ringing in the new year with 80 degrees on New Year's Eve and 81 New Year's Day. Paul, it doesn't get much better than that. Just about a 10% chance for rain taking us through Thursday, and then a better 40% chance as we head into Friday.
I love the confetti and all those ribbons. The temperature too, right?
Yeah.
Aaron, thank you so much. And thank you tonight for spending 34 minutes of your evening with us here on the CW. Daily Mail TV is next. We're on CBS 12 News at 11. We'll see you then.